Ochocinco, was he a quarterback?
Your ass better call somebody.
Texas would never be back. I'm putting that shit on my grave. Horns down on my grave, son.
Dabo is going to wheel his boys to a big victory this coming Monday.
A big victory. It's damn Georgia Tech.
That game ain't a top 50 game, man. South Carolina go in there. They're going to get de-spurred.
Shout out to the boys again, going another 4-0 on the parlay, hitting again. 8-0. We are 8-0 on the season. If you listen to the podcast, you want to win some money, tune in.
No dogs. No tigers.
Roll Tide, roll. Roll RMFT. Roll motherfucking Tide.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the College Football Weekly Matchup, week number 10. We are here. We are without one person tonight, but we brought back the man, the myth, the legend after a delay because Alabama is not doing too hot. But, of course, he's here after they win, 38-0.
It's week 9.
It's not week 10? You sure?
It's week 9 of picks.
Well, I could have swore it's week. I'm pretty sure it's week 10 of college football.
Probably because of that week 0.
Okay. Well, I put week 10. Hopefully it's week 10. Anyway, Josh here with us tonight after the beat down to Missouri, after the ups and downs. Haven't been with us the last few weeks. How was your week of college football, and how has your weeks been since you've been on the podcast?
Well, a devastating loss against Tennessee. Too many damn penalties. Milroe missing open receivers. It's just the same old with him. It's really good or really bad. There's he don't have an okay game. It's a horrible game or a good game. But, yeah, the penalties are killing Alabama. And, that was a good shutout victory against Missouri, that Brady Cook playing hurt. They say he hit his hand on a helmet and he came out because of that, and that may have been the case, but I put it on the coaching staff, man. I don't care how much heart you got. If you're not 100%, you're not giving us our best chance to win. I'm preparing all week with another quarterback, and I wouldn't have prepared with Drew Pine. I would have prepared with the other guy. So that's on Missouri coaching staff for not being prepared for that. But, Missouri's got a good defense. And their defensive starters were in the game. Alabama, I was happy to see the run game get going for Alabama. So we'll see what they got next week.
Gotcha. Sorry. What did I do here? I don't know what I did. Anyway.
What you doing, man? You're not giving me your undivided attention.
I'm trying to figure out something on my phone, damn it. Anyway, Bryson here with us. Florida's playing a lot better, playing okay. New quarterback there. Great games last week. Almost saw an upset we're going to talk about. A couple of upsets. How was your week of college football?
Another great weekend. A lot of great games this past weekend. Great to see Josh back on the show. That Vanderbilt game, man. I think Vanderbilt's a real deal. I think they got one line this weekend coming up that's absurd. I think it's going to be the easiest lock of the year, of our lifetime. But, it's been good. But Alabama, man, wow, did y'all look?
Who's coming?
All right. Disregard. Keep going.
Wow, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on tonight. Alabama look good. I mean, Milroe.
Disregard.
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm lost for words.
I'm trying to do something. Disregard. Anyway,
Bama look good, Josh. Great shutout win. Must need a win for trying to get back in the playoffs. But yeah.
Anyway, disregard. I was trying to do something. Yes, must need to win. Anyway, we are going to recap some games. If you are in the chat tonight, make sure you comment. We are live on YouTube, recording on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Shout out to us. May have a special guest later. And we're going to talk about that special guest before we even have him on. Jesus Christ almighty. Anyway, recap some games here. Texas defeating Vanderbilt 27-24. Vanderbilt almost pulling it off, Josh. Any thoughts there in that game?
Yeah, I mean, I watched that game. Vanderbilt, Texas tried to pull away at the end. Vanderbilt wouldn't go away, and then I just don't agree with not what did they not punt? They needed to punt, I think, and they turned it over on downs. I just felt
No.
like they could have, or it might have been the other way around. I can't remember right now, but I thought they made a boneheaded coaching decision in that game. But Vanderbilt's a tough, gritty team. They're not real talented. And they're not real big. They just play real good together. They got good chemistry. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that Auburn game. I seen the line, and I feel like I just want to touch on that real quick. I feel like that Auburn, found some of its identity against Kentucky with running the ball, and I also know that you know it, 3 times in a row. Diego gonna beat Hugh Freeze 3 times in a row? I don't know. I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think the core is Nate Johnson. I think Nate Johnson's quarterback this week too. Isn't the quarterback down for Vanderbilt? I could be wrong.
Oh, really? Diego Pave?
I know Diego got hurt a little bit last week. I'm not sure. I have to look at that. But
If he's not in the game, Vanderbilt can hang it up.
Yeah, I didn't see no news about that yet.
I'll check. I'm pretty sure he was down. I will look at that before we do the lock.
Review my lock.
I just thought about that. Anyway,
choose my lock. But yeah, great game. That was like Josh said, Texas trying to pull at the end, Vanderbilt hanging on. You can't rain that team out to fight. Great all around team. And we were talking about work. And do you think with the transfer portal and the new NIL, do you think that put Vandy where they're at now?
Well, definitely transfer portal. I'm not sure about the NIL. I mean, they don't have no special NIL deals there that they wouldn't have anywhere else. Mm-hmm. But I think the transfer portal and a lot of those guys coming from New Mexico State, the offensive coordinator, in that new offensive scheme, and they all bought into it. But yeah, definitely transfer portal. I mean, I think it was 39 guys they brought in. Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely transfer portal. I don't think it's that much to do with the NIL deal.
And that's what I was saying. I was like, it's kind of cool. I like the transfer portal. I mean, this is the plus side of it, making these smaller schools get a little bit better, get these, these 2 or 3 star players that are actually some real dogs, and get some, starting positions, actual more playing time to improve their whole team. I think that, in fact, is showing why Vanderbilt is where they're at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Couple other games here. Another close game, close upset, almost upset here. Besides, the quarterback is awful. Ohio State squeaking by Nebraska 21-17. I mean, I thought Nebraska could have won that game by a couple. I mean, Dylan Raiola sucks.
They could have won. They could have won that game.
He's awful. He is god awful.
Yeah, he's not
no Patrick Mahomes.
No,
he's terrible.
Oh, Jackson.
Anyway, Josh, any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, that's who he is, Jackson Mahomes. Yeah, I watched that game. I thought it was a good game. I thought Nebraska was going to win that game in the third quarter. And I also have thoughts about them going back and reviewing the targeting and saying that it wasn't targeting, even though they reviewed it during the game and said that it was. Now that it's not, now their defender gets to play the first half against Penn State, which I don't agree with the targeting penalties. 15 yards, but I don't know if you maybe it don't matter to me. It don't matter when it happens in the game. If you kick the player out of the game, that's it. He shouldn't have to sit out any of the next game. I think that's a stupid rule.
I agree. 100%.
Ohio State whined to the Big Ten, and got it overturned. So they'll have all their players when they go to Penn State this weekend.
Gotcha. Clay, if you're here, disregard the playback. You can't see Josh. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. It doesn't allow you to hear Josh and play back on you and Bryson. That's what I figured. I just wanted to see how it worked. I just was testing that.
Okay.
Disregard it. I'm going to remove it off.
Special guest tonight, Clay?
What?
Clay going to be our special guest?
No. It was Forrest. It was a guy that was on last week.
You can't see or hear him. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got to
Shout and playback.
move it. Yeah, no, I didn't think about Josh not being on there. Anyway, disregard that. Disregard the playback. Bryson.
Sorry.
What?
I don't know how many times you said disregard tonight, but I think the counts. I'm going over under 175.
All right. Well, how about you win a game? How about you win a fantasy football game against Jalen Hurts? I can't say nothing. I can't win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to
I'm
hear.
like 4 games.
You lost to the last place guy, man.
Okay.
I mean, the week before, he scored 19 points.
Didn't I beat you though?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, any thoughts? Nebraska, Ohio State.
Yeah, I thought Nebraska could pull it out. Once again, that game just shows me that Ohio State really isn't all that. But Nebraska should have won, and your boy Ravioli is trash.
Yeah.
Ravioli.
Yeah, Dylan Ravioli is trash.
Yeah.
Jackson.
He's not no Chef Boyardee.
Jackson Ravioli.
Yeah. Anyway, a couple other games here before. Only thing I want to say about it, I mean, he should have had a few touchdowns in that game. I mean, they should have won by a couple scores, I thought. A&M over Louisville, 38-24.
A&M over LSU.
Yeah, why the fuck did I write Louisville? Sorry.
Yeah.
I think I'm thinking about my lock of the week this week, too. Yeah, I'm all over the place.
Disregard.
A&M over LSU, 38-23. I did not see much of the night games. I know this was a great game. Josh, go again. Say again.
No, I was just saying, yeah, it was a great game.
Great game. Josh, thoughts on A&M? Is A&M a contender?
Well,
or is LSU just not that good?
No. I think that A&M, I really like what Mike Elko's done. He brought, some serious football over there. He brought what he had at Duke over there. I do think that just the element of surprise is what got LSU on their heels, because Weigman or whatever his name is was not. Yeah, he was not playing worth a crap, and that took some guts to make that move and tell him that, hey, you're about to sit on the bench. We're about to play this other guy, and that other guy was up for the challenge, and he did not let them down. What's his last name? Reed, and he ran the ball. He threw the ball a couple of times, and he had a good-looking pass, those couple of passes that he made. But, man, he was running the ball. They had no answer for him, and LSU could not make the adjustment, could not make the adjustments. But there's film on him now. So, and if you're Texas A&M, that's your starting quarterback for the rest of the year. I don't care what you say. And if you set him down, then you might have some issues. But, yeah, there's some film on him now, so we'll see what Texas A&M does. But, yeah, they're definitely a contender for the SEC championship game. And I called it earlier in the year that Texas A&M game is going to be a lot on the table for that game.
I keep forgetting that's going to be a game later on. I know you always talk about that at the beginning. Bryson, any thoughts on A&M and LSU? I know Nussmeier didn't look too good in that game.
I was about to say he did not look good. Threw a couple interceptions. I mean, he just looked off that night. I don't know what happened. But like Clay said, man, that backup for A&M, he's pretty damn good quarterback. And like
said, the kicker sucks.
Yeah, kicker missed field goals. But like Josh said, if I'm A&M, if I'm Mr. Mike over there, hey, that's my new starter quarterback. Going to a tough place this weekend. Going to Carolina at Columbia at night.
At night,
the cocks are going to be loud. So I mean, that's going to be a great game. But yeah, my whole thing is Lacey played pretty good. Nussmeier, I mean, just looked off. Did not look like the same quarterback in the beginning of the season.
Gotcha. Other two games I mentioned, I wrote Bama routing Missouri 34-0. I think that was the score. And Notre Dame routing Navy 51-14.
Hate to see it.
Everyone wanted to see Navy compete, but obviously, deep down, I think all of us knew that wasn't going to be the case. Josh, any thoughts on your Crimson Tide, and any thoughts on Notre Dame routing Navy?
The Notre Dame, how does that team lose to Northern Illinois? Is what Northern Illinois is 4-4. They're not good. Like, people, when they beat Notre Dame, they were like, "Oh, Northern Illinois is going a dark horse to make the playoff." No, they're not. No, they're not. How do you lose to damn Northern Illinois and you perform like you did against Navy? They had the right game plan. They played really good against Navy. Notre Dame, they really don't have any bumps in the road from here to the playoffs.
So is that their only loss
Yes.
against Northern Illinois? I know they had.
Yep.
And beat A&M in the beginning of the year. So
with Alabama, even if Alabama wins out, they're going to need some help. I mean, of course, if they go to LSU and they win good, and it's going to be really hard at night to win there. But I mean, Alabama's. I'm pretty sure you can double check this. I looked at it the other night. I think Alabama's 24-6 in Baton Rouge. It's 1964. 24-6, and most of those games have been at night. So it's, and I like what Lane Kiffin said. Why isn't Georgia and Ole Miss at night game? Why does it got to be LSU always getting the night time slot? It is what it is. They like it like that. But yeah, Alabama's going to need some help. Because a 10-2 Tennessee or a 10-2 Alabama, Tennessee's going to get the nod. And Tennessee's got to play Georgia. So I'm hoping for an upset this weekend. I hope Kentucky can beat Tennessee. I doubt it, but Vanderbilt might can get them at the end of the year. But yeah, 10-2 Alabama versus a 10-2 Tennessee. Tennessee will get the nod because they're head-to-head.
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm not understanding Kentucky too much, but they kind of confuse me. Anyway, no. When and before we get to Bryant, when is it? Say Alabama drops another game. How long before you're? I know it's probably till next year after, before you're saying DeBoer's not the answer.
Well,
how long before you're saying that?
I mean, even if they lose another game, I mean, it would have to be 3 years in a row of not making the playoffs.
Wow.
For me to say he's not the guy. I mean, it takes two.
I don't know. I just feel like when you're so used to winning all the time, you might. I could see you coming back here, not just you, maybe other Alabama fans could see you coming back here next year and saying something different. But, we'll see.
I mean, if he doesn't make the playoffs this year, it is what it is.
Yeah. Obviously this year,
But yeah. I mean, I think he's a good coach.
My thing is, I think every coach deserves at least a few years because
a full recruiting cycle.
Exactly.
Transfer portal now, you can make things happen a little quicker.
Yeah.
I mean, so but speaking about coaching changes, man, I've heard Indiana's coach linked to Gainesville, but he's 64, 65 years old.
I've been hearing reports about that too. Taking
what if Florida wins a couple big games here? What if
Florida wins this game Saturday, and But also, they were talking about this Lagway kid, and if you get rid of Napier, he might bounce, and you don't want to lose him.
No,
I mean,
that's the only good thing we got going for us right now. Honestly.
But also,
if they lose both of these games in a close game, or
they're talking about Lane Kiffin too.
Anyway, yeah, that Lane Kiffin thing's kind of coming more to fruition just because Ole Miss is not looking too hot for other schools. But anyway, Bryson, any thoughts on either one, Notre Dame and Alabama?
Yeah, it sucks for Navy, man. I think we all want to see Navy succeed in this. But like Josh said, how does this Notre Dame team lose to Northern Illinois? I mean, they look great. But Alabama looking good, defense look good, all around look good. Mildew's in. I mean, it's 50-50 for him. But like I said, major must win for Alabama. I'm happy for Josh. They got the win.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would agree. Must win. I think we all picked that game right. I did say I thought they blow them out. Any other games?
Real
Go
quick, do y'all know, this is off topic, but do y'all notice Shohei Otani's posture when he stands up to bat? Have you watched him bat?
I hadn't
I
watched too
haven't, but
much of the World Series.
fun fact for you, I think I told Chris this. I think this is the most least viewed
But
World Series.
I don't think that has nothing to do with the two teams playing. I don't. I mean, you got the Yankees. Everybody, there's a lot of Yankees.
It's the biggest. It's the two biggest markets in baseball.
Exactly. Yeah, it's nothing to do with the two
But
teams.
his posture.
It was because they're two most hated teams. I was like, I don't think that has anything to do with it.
His
Lots
back,
of it does.
I'm just reading what the internet said.
straight up.
Go to the messenger.
His back is straight up, man, and he's squatted, and his face is turned. It's just the weirdest looking thing, man. It looks like I don't know.
Tell you right now, it damn works. I tell you, Freddie Freeman, hell,
Yeah.
you need to go ahead and pay him to come back to Atlanta.
Hey, the Yankees are up 4-0 right now, and the Dodgers better not. You know they're going. Dodgers they gonna lose this one, but
I'll
they'll
tell you what, I might have to drive. Where's Game 7 going to be at?
L.A.
I might have to go to L.A. and root for the damn Dodgers, damn Yankees. I can't stand it. I've watched a little bit, but man, if they come back, I don't want to.
I don't like Juan Soto.
I've never been. Yeah,
That
I've always
pisses me
liked.
off.
Not that I've liked the Red Sox, but I've always liked David Ortiz, and I loved it when they came back. Watching that, I've never been a Yankee guy. Anyway, any other games you guys want to talk about college football wise for the week before we get into some games here and rants of the week?
Yeah, what about Colorado?
Colorado,
They're going bowling.
6-2. They have an outside shot at the Big 12.
Yeah, I've heard some people talking about them. I don't know.
I mean, they have definitely exceeded the expectations I had.
Oh,
Yes,
but
I agree.
I thought
100%.
6 wins. I thought that was max. But I think some of the teams that they played has kind of not been as good as what I thought. But I still thought Colorado would be competing. I mean, what's Colorado got left here? While you guys keep talking while I look at the schedule, I'm just trying to think. I don't know who they got left. Let's see. They got Texas Tech. They got Utah, Texas Tech, Utah, Kansas, Oklahoma State. So, I mean, they can win all those games. I think Oklahoma. I mean, I think all of them's going to be tough. All of them could be close games. Kansas has been very disappointing, but
I mean, the most confusing team to me in that is Utah
well,
and
I don't
Oklahoma
make no more. Yeah.
and Oklahoma State. Like, what the hell happened?
Yeah. Yeah, because Oklahoma State, I mean, they're supposed to have one of the best running backs in the nation. I thought they had a good offense overall. They just hadn't. I don't know.
Josh, I got a question for you. Even though Vanderbilt losing this past weekend, do you think they should still be at rank 25, or you think they did the right thing of kicking them out?
I think they should have kept them in and kicked Missouri's ass out.
I agree,
So,
110%.
So Missouri, what's Missouri? They got 2 losses. You said what?
They're ranked 25. Missouri's
What's how many losses they got?
3 losses.
3 losses. Vanderbilt's got 4, right? 3 or 4. Yeah. Missouri hadn't looked hot. I probably agree with that. Yeah. I don't know. But
I was saying that at work, and people thought I was insane. I was like,
I don't think it's insane, but I would say they were ranked.
Josh,
25.
sorry, yeah, they beat Bama, and then they almost beat Texas. I mean, that probably the 2 toughest teams. One of the 2 toughest teams.
With Texas coming off a loss, you know.
Yeah, and the boys are pissed.
Yeah. I was looking while we were thinking about it. See if the quarterback was hurt. But anyway, let's keep it going here. I did not do a player of the week. I forgot. Did anybody do a player of the week?
Oh yeah, I got a player of the week.
Josh, go ahead with player of the week. I'll see if I can get one for you.
From one of my rivals, I'm going to go Jaquez Hunter for Auburn. 28 carries, 278 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 278 yards. Why ain't they been feeding this guy the ball the whole time over there?
What do you say? I'm about to be okay. Okay, our special guest is going to be ready soon. Bryson, just make sure you give me his thing. We'll get to
10-4.
that game shortly. Bryson, did you have a player of the week? What do you think about it?
Genty again. I mean, big win.
Probably his worst game.
Worst
but-
game. I mean, only
How many times he carried the ball? 38 times.
38
Yeah, it's not
times.
that good, but
one
yeah.
touchdown, 100 yards. I mean, this man is just. I know not his greatest game, but dude, touched the ball 38 times. Good God.
Yeah, but I'm sick of seeing these.
Oh, my phone died.
I'm sick of seeing these things comparing him to Derrick Henry.
Yeah, go see if you can find one. Go grab one. I don't know. I think Dad's got one. I don't know.
I got one in my truck.
Did you turn off the mic? All right, Bryson's got to go grab a phone charger real quick. Anyway, I am going to go. I was looking to see if I had a player of the week. I did not write one. I tell you the one I saw, the one I was watching. I would say Travis Hunter, but I'm not going to go Travis Hunter. This guy didn't have too much of a great game. I was trying to find him here. It was a dude for a smaller school, and I can't find the name now. Anyway, I'll just go Travis Hunter. Got a big win. Had 153 yards. I still think he's in the Heisman conversation. Definitely. I mean, is that going to be the final two? I mean, don't you think it's pretty much going to be him or Genty, right?
Well, you got Dylan Gabriel for Oregon.
Yeah, but he kind of started late, right?
Yeah, I mean, he started coming on late, but you got
If
What
they, yeah,
what
I guess
do you got? The undefeated number one team.
yeah. No, yeah, you're right. You're right. But anyway, let's get in rant of the week. I had a couple things I was going to rant about that I was going to mention. Bryson did something yesterday that was big. I don't think I have the clip on my phone. That's why I was trying to get a minute ago. Bryson, just give him a rundown. I'm going to see if I can get the clip for you. while we do that.
I got some respect for this man. I kind of, I won't say I grew up on him, but past couple of years I watched the show. Shout out to Paul Feinbaum. All right, called the show. Disregard. So
That's what they said to you when you called.
exactly.
Anyways, back live rant of the week. What we want to talk about here, Bryson decided this week, and Coach Hayes, you just stay intact down there. Bryson decided this week to call in to the Paul Feinbaum show. The Paul Feinbaum show. Waits, gets in there, and he embarrasses us like no other.
Not my fault.
I had the clip. I had a clip. It's not working. I'm gonna try. I will get it ready for next week if I can. But Bryson called in.
Yeah, called in, waited on the line for 10 minutes. Clark from Georgia was up before I was, and when you're on hold, you hear everything. You hear the guy talking, and you hear Paul talking, and all you hear is this guy Clark. Paul, can you hear me? Hey, Paul. And so then it hangs up on him, and it says, "All right, Bryson from Georgia." I said, "Mr. Paul, Bryson from C&BSports, how you doing?" After I say that, they hang up on me. So
we're thinking, what Josh is thinking, they hung up probably because he mentioned the podcast.
I didn't say CBS Sports now. SEC
Anyway.
and CBS don't get along. I understand that, but
Anyway, that was my rant. Bryson embarrassed us.
not my fault. But shout out to Paul Feinbaum.
Bryson embarrassed us. But yeah, short little rant. But since we delayed since that was a whole fiasco right there, we were going to get into the games here. Before we bring on the special guest here in just a second. Josh, do you have the records for the week? By the way, Preston's not here. We probably didn't mention him. Apologize, Preston. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great night at work. He's working tonight. But Josh, go ahead with records.
Yeah, all right. I went 4-1 losing that Illinois game. Like all of us lost the Illinois game. That brings my record to 28-17. You also went 4-1 losing that Illinois game. Your record's 28-17. Bryson, you went 3-2 losing Illinois and LSU. your record's 25-20. And Preston, he went 3-2, also losing those same two with Illinois and LSU. His record is 23-22. What are y'all laughing at?
That's what we're laughing.
Coach Hayes,
But,
boy.
all right. Anyway, so we're tied. Are we still tied, or what'd you say?
Yeah, still tied at
Still
first.
tied. Okay. Sorry. All right. So not a great week. How do we do? Who got anybody get a lock right?
Let me see. Here we go. Let's look at these locks.
Like we give an introduction.
I want to say the chat lock was correct, and that was the only one.
Don't
Graham.
Hold on. Time out. We have one chat lock right here. We're going to introduce him right now. Coach Hayes.
Ladies and gentlemen, my friend from high school met this man in 9th grade. We kicked it off since then.
You are an embarrassment. You gave us Georgia Southern money line last week, and they got absolutely massacred. I just want to know your thoughts, and please apologize.
Yeah, I do apologize because that was crazy, man. I don't know what the hell happened there. I mean, all I can say is that Vegas is still on crack though because they didn't beat them by 1 point; they beat them by fucking 30 points.
Yeah, he's got a good point. I can't be mad at him no more. He made a good point right there. Made a great point. But anyway, locks are not going too good. We started off the week strong, but Coach Hayes is here with us.
Coach Hayes.
Getting ready for the Georgia-Florida game. We'll get into that here in just a second. Forrest, all right, how long you got? Do you want us to start with the Georgia game, or you want to go through all the games?
We can go through all of them.
All right, we'll just go
Let's
through
give a
all
little
of them.
background though for Coach Hayes.
I don't know. I can't give him a background. He's got to turn his camera.
I ain't talking about that. Met this man in 9th grade. Right? We went to two different middle schools, two rivalries middle schools, right? We just kicked it off from there. We first day we talked about college football. We established I'm a Florida fan, he's a Georgia fan. We just kicked it off from there.
Joe's Coach, can we see your so if you don't know, Coach Hayes used to be a coach or volunteer or a
Ain't no volunteer,
or graduate. Was it
assistant.
grad assistant? Grad
I
assistant.
got paid for it.
He was a coach. Anyway, he was a coach at Georgia Southern. Can we see the playbook again, Coach? Show him your wing tee.
So this was when I was coaching at high school.
Oh, okay.
So this is the wing tee. So
Yeah.
this is real football right here. This is where you run the ball. Okay, you don't do that passive.
That's what they do over at Navy.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because Navy's offensive coordinator is my old high school's head coach's son.
Oh really?
Yeah, Drew Cronick. And that's what they ran at East Coweta for years, the wing tee.
Oh yeah.
And it took them to the state championship a couple times. They didn't win a state championship, but they got to play in it a couple of times.
That's right. Oh yeah.
Wing tee, baby.
The wing tee in high school, man, it does pretty damn good. So
that's because you got quarterbacks that can't throw the ball.
I'll tell you this right now. Coach is a too humble person, but I like I said, I saw it. He sent me a picture of it. He went to this high school, okay? Led that high school in most yards in the game, yards in the season. Coach Hayes brought the wing tee.
What was the fact? Hold on. What was the fact while you were at Georgia Southern? What did y'all say the fact was that while you were there? Was there a fact that you did? They had rushed for more yards while you were there. Was it Georgia Southern? Or was that
the high school he coached at?
No, that was at the high school I was at.
Most rushing yards a game, most rushing yards in the school history. Guess who was the coach? And guess who was running the wing tee? Coach Hayes. What's that tell you?
So now look, I wasn't the head coach, so I don't take the credit for everything. I helped coach the offense.
Take the credit, man. That coach ain't gonna be watching the C&BSports weekly matchup.
Any coach will tell you it's more about the Jimmies and Joes than it is the X's and O's.
That's right, exactly.
All
That's
right,
the credit. But did you coach at Georgia Southern too?
So I wasn't like a coach. I just helped out.
Yeah. What years?
So I was supposed to be 2019 was when I was there.
Okay.
But I wasn't like coaching. I was just helping out.
You're like a grad assistant.
That was a few years after Georgia Southern ran threw Alabama like shit through a tin horn.
Yeah, that was after that. Yes. Yeah.
348 yards rushing against Alabama's defense. They could
Yeah.
not stop them. No matter
Nah,
what they did, they couldn't stop them. But Georgia Southern couldn't stop Alabama either, and they came away with the win. But they could not stop. I mean, that killed our rush defense that year.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
one.
They used to run like the triple option and stuff, and then the coach that was there when I was there, Chad Lunsford, he tried to go to more of like a spread offense and do that. And his first couple years, he was a little successful, but he kind of dipped down a little bit.
Well, one thing I
And
do know about the option and the wing tee and that running type thing is that if you don't have the practice squad
yeah,
to practice against it, it's
yeah,
very difficult to defend. You don't play it week in and week out, and
hmm
you don't have players on your team to run it. And that's what killed Alabama against Vanderbilt is
yeah,
they there was nothing they could do. The shovel pass got them every time.
hmm yeah. So the wing T and option and veer type of offenses, the run game, it's based off a lot of trickery, a lot of eye candy. So you have to be very disciplined
You got to fill the gap.
because
You got to
yeah,
fill the gaps. You got to
yep,
keep your assignment and fill the gap no matter what it looks like.
that's right,
And that's hard.
absolutely.
That's harder to do.
It is. It is. A
What,
lot of
what
people
are y'all
think
laughing
it's
about?
No, Bryce was telling me something else. Sorry.
On our screen, it's got at the very bottom it has
You
us
just
three.
see coaches.
And Coach Hayes' face is like
You
that.
just see his
I mean, it
forehead.
looks normal on the big screen, but the small screen
Yeah.
is so zoomed in.
It's funny, yeah.
But shout out to Coach
I was
Hayes.
trying not to laugh. Bryce was
Thank
pointing
you,
out.
thank you for joining on tonight. I know it's kind of short notice, and I know you had some big plans tonight, but thank you for coming. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
well, I
Anyway,
appreciate y'all, man.
let's get into the games. If you were on the last live stream, sorry, I accidentally clicked the wrong button. So I hope you're here. Make sure you comment in the chat, comment your picks, and then we'll keep it moving here. Let's go to the first game, probably the biggest game of the week. At noon, number 4, Ohio State at number 3, Penn State. Ohio State favored by 3.5. Josh, who you got in this one?
And I'm going to go with Ohio State. And the reason I'm going with Ohio State is Penn State ain't never done it. They look really good all year, and then here comes Ohio State, and they can't ever get it done. And until they do, why would I pick them? I don't really care what the line would be. I would be picking Ohio State just because Penn State always shits the bed whenever they play the big boys in the Big Ten. And they're probably going to do the same thing this weekend, even though I'd like Ohio State to lose. I mean, I kind of be cheering for Penn State, but it is what it is, and I'm going with the Buckeyes.
This game's at Penn State, right?
Yeah, daytime though, not night.
Daytime. Big
Yeah,
noon
big
kickoff.
noon kickoff.
Yeah,
It's
big,
stupid.
Yeah, big snooze kickoff.
I'd have that shit
Yeah.
at 9 p.m. I'd be playing that thing 9 p.m. Eastern time, late as I could get it.
Yeah, now I'm just gonna go with Penn State. That's what I wrote down. I like your points, but I think it's gonna be a close game. Ohio State hadn't impressed me, so I'm just going with Penn State. I know they had a couple of struggling. I think they struggled with USC.
Wouldn't
They had a
overtime
couple,
with them.
yeah, a couple other games, but I don't know. I'm just not fully impressed with Ohio State. I think it's gonna be a close game, so I don't know who's gonna win it, but I think it comes down to the wire. So I'll take Penn State. Bryson.
Both teams have not impressed me at all this season. I mean, Penn State's kind of struggling in the beginning. Getting pulling out a win against Bowling Green, and UCLA going to overtime with USC. I could care less really, but I know this is big for the playoffs. But I'm going with Ohio State in this one. Coach Hayes.
Coach Hayes, Forrest. Who you got?
Yes, sir. So I'm gonna have to agree with Josh and Bryson. I think that Ohio State, even though they didn't lose to Oregon, I mean they only lost, was it by 1 point
2 points, I think.
or
One or
two
two. Yeah.
point?
1 or 2. I think
Um,
it was one.
so I mean they still put up a decent game with a top tier team, and I think Penn State hasn't really shown as much Um, and then plus the talent that Ohio State has, I would I would pick them over Penn State at this time.
Yeah, a lot of talent on that team.
You know, I just thought
Yep.
about we could start doing
What?
kind of like college game day. How they have like they keep the records of their guest pickers.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a guest picker record tonight. Josh, make sure you have the guest picker
Yes,
record
sir.
if you can. Anyway,
Well, I got to figure out where to put it.
oh, it's all right. I'll keep it on my phone. We'll put it on another sheet or something. It's all right. I'll keep it on my phone. No worries. So, Forrest, you took
I'll
took
put it somewhere.
yeah.
Us three took Ohio State. Rickerson took Penn.
Okay. All right. Next game.
Preston took Ohio State.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah. Preston took. Yeah,
All
we got to make sure we put in Preston's.
Hey,
Preston took Ohio State too. So I'm on the island. I'm on the island. I'll take Penn State.
yes.
Island boy.
We'll take Penn State anyway. Yeah.
It's-
Let's go to the next game. We go in order of time frame, so we're gonna go ahead and start it here. We're going number 2, Georgia, and Florida versus Florida in Jacksonville. Still, Georgia favored by 16.5 as of now. Till Bryson said,
Breaking news: our star wide receiver Eugene Wilson and cornerback Jordan Marshall out for
For the game.
the Florida Georgia game.
so it could change. Could change here. Josh, I know you picked before. I'll go ahead and get mine out of the way, and go with it. Bryson, I'll let you pick in a second because I'll try to get the two fans. I know I'm a fan too, but I don't want Josh to have to pick first again. So this game kind of scares me. I think Florida's been playing a little bit better lately. 16.5 is a lot of points. Georgia, never know. They could start hot. They could start slow. They got one good half of football always. 3/4, good at football. But I mean, I got to take John.
Yeah, I'm good.
I got to take Georgia here. I mean, I can't not take Georgia. I think Florida. Honestly, I think Florida can compete in this game without Bryson saying, missing the receivers. They can always find. So the main thing is, I would say, it's not the 2-quarterback system. Kirby's he knows who he's game planning for. He's game planning for Lagway. I think that plays a big factor, and I think he's going to be able to shut them down. So I'm going to take Georgia. I'm going to take the Dogs. I think Florida's going to have a tough time on offense. So give me Georgia. Josh, since you don't have a dog in the fight, go ahead.
All right. It really deterred. I already wrote my picks down, and then I wrote them in ink pen, and Bryson tells me about the cornerback going down. I'm not too worried about the wide receiver.
If you want to scratch it out, you're more than welcome.
But I'm not going to scratch it out. I think Florida can keep this close. I think Florida is going to play with nothing to lose. I think they're going to do everything they can to rattle Carson Beck and get a couple of turnovers, keep this game kind of closer than it should be.
I will say the line did move earlier to like what?
It went from it started out 20, went to 16,
16.
probably going back to 25.
Yeah, now
Well,
it's going
we
25. I'm betting Florida.
locked it in at 16
All money.
and a half, right?
16 and a half. That's what we got.
We got it locked in. Okay, well, yeah, I think Georgia wins this by 10. It should be by more, but I think they can get into Carson Beck's head a little bit. He does make some bad decisions with the ball when he gets rattled. I think Florida's defensive line, could have some success if they they bring some more pressure up from the secondary. And I mean, it could kill them too, though. I mean, I don't know, but I just got a gut feeling that Florida can keep it a little closer than 16 and a half.
Coach Hayes.
Yeah. So I mean, every rivalry game, is going to be a tough game. For me, growing up as a dog fan, this has always been to me the biggest game on our schedule. I know, we got Auburn and Tech, and I guess it used to be Carolina, but not no more. Um, but Florida is always a tough game. It's always a game that we've gone into and we're expected to win, and then we lose. So, I know Florida's going to come out. They're going to play their hardest. But I still can't go against the dogs on this one. I still think we have the better team. I think Carson Beck definitely has made a lot of mistakes for sure. He's thrown multiple interceptions in multiple games, and he's definitely got to do better with that. And we got to do better on with running the ball too. Our O line was not really getting much push down there, and so we got a lot of things that we got to work on the offense. But as long as our defense plays like they did against Texas and comes out strong and fast, I think as long as we can keep stopping them, holding them to three and outs, punting the ball, our offense can get at least one or two series in there, and then we can at least get a field goal if we can't score a dang touchdown. So points are points. So, but I think the dogs will get it done.
Dang right. Dang right. You scared me at the beginning of that. I thought you were going to take Florida.
No,
Bryce,
no, absolutely not.
That's a damn good man right there. Like Forrest said, this is the game right here. This is my favorite game of the year. Shout to Warren and Craig, the only two Florida fans I know in the state of Georgia. But like Forrest said, I can't bet against my team. I'm going with the Gators. One or two things are going to happen in this game. Either ETN is about to show out, or our defense is coming for his neck. I'm hearing a lot of talk about they're going to be trying to take him out quick.
I will say he had his best week. Was it last week? I believe it was last, or it was the week after last, or not last week. He had a bye, but the week before last. So,
I think that's going to be our main thing. If Georgia's defense come out like they did in that first half against Texas, boy oh boy, we got Lagway, two true freshers in the backfield. Jordan Baugh showing out against Kentucky, and Lagway still doing his thing. I think this is going to be a big game for him.
thought Forrest was about to take us to the bathroom for a minute. I didn't know where he was going.
I do want to point out Georgia played defense really well against Texas, but I do want to point out that Texas's offense is very predictable and did not try to change anything up until later in the game.
Yeah, no, I agree with
they
that.
were running the same offensive plays that I've seen for 2 years. And whenever you're predictable with Kirby Smart, he's going to eat you alive. So if Florida's offensive coordinator is smart, then he'll have some wrinkles in there to throw in there and kind of throw them off their game a little bit. And they better be able to do it quick, because at halftime, Kirby will make them adjustments and shut it down.
And I said, as somebody told me, and I was kind of joking around about saying time was kind of serious. I said that this score could be 56-10 Georgia. It could be. And somebody said, "Oh, Kirby ain't gonna put it on." No, points really matter in this new age playoffs. So I don't see, if Kirby gets up, I don't see him stopping putting us on.
I got an interesting little tidbit for you. Next year, the world's largest cocktail party will be played in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and then in 2020, and then in 2026 it'll be played in Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Instead of doing a home and home. I don't want
that's stupid. I mean, can we go to Athens one weekend? I want to see the Gators in Athens.
I mean, I don't understand. Why wouldn't y'all just do it? Just since they're renovating that stadium and you got to move, why not do a home and home?
I mean, call Paul Farbaum. He might be able to tell you.
I want to see the Florida Gators and the Georgia Bulldogs playing in the swamp at 8 o'clock at night. That's what I want to freaking see.
Hey, Coach, please tell me what you told me earlier about the swamp today when we were talking.
Oh yeah, the swamp, man. I mean, it's one of the best atmospheres out there, and I feel like a lot of times it don't get the love that it deserves.
That it used to when Steve Spurrier was there. Yeah. I mean, the swamp is loud, and I'm telling you, I would love to see Florida and Georgia in the swamp in 2026 at night, and then next year I'd love to see Georgia and Florida at noon in between the hedges.
Yeah. All right. We got a few more games here. Let's get in to a couple more games. We got
Preston picked Georgia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he picked Georgia. Yep. Preston did go with Georgia. A little surprise.
Josh Rodden.
Yeah. So we got 2v3 there, or 3v2, excuse me. We got 7:30 p.m. We got Louisville. We got number 11, Clemson. Preston not here tonight to defend himself. Clemson favored by 11.5. Bryson, we're going to let you lead off. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm going Louisville. I think Miami is better than Clemson, and Louisville put up a damn good fight with Miami. I think Clemson is probably going to win the game, but I'm seeing 7-3 points. But give me Louisville.
Forrest.
Yeah, I don't like Clemson too much, but but I'm gonna have to go with Clemson with this one. I don't think Louisville will be able to match up with them too well.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not taking Clemson. Tell you right now, I'm taking Louisville. Looking earlier today, every game Louisville has lost has been by exactly 7 points. Lost to SMU, lost to Miami, lost to Notre Dame. Exactly 7 points. Louisville, I know they lost. I could see this being another high scoring game. I know they had a shootout with Miami. Clemson, does have a decent defense. The offense, it's kind of. I haven't seen them play nobody, man. Who's Clemson played? They haven't played nobody. Absolutely nobody.
Yeah.
I will have money on Louisville outright. I think Louisville wins this game.
Line.
I think Louisville wins this game by 3. Give me Louisville.
As Preston was saying, the real Death Valley at night.
And it's nothing to do, and they're serious. If Preston wasn't here, if it wasn't Preston, I'd probably still be taking Louisville. I
know you would.
like Chow. I like the quarterback. I like they had
you like the real Preston too.
Yeah, that too. But if they have a good receiver over there, I can't remember his name. The number 1 receiver they got, and they got the other guy, the second guy that plays punt return. I follow a lot. I've been watching Louisville lately, just because I do play them on DraftKings a little bit. I've been watching. I like the offense there. The backup running back that came in, Brown, he's been doing good for him. And I know the defense hadn't been hot, but I like Louisville here. I do think it's going to be a good game. I do think Hey, this is time. If Clemson comes out and blows them out, this will show me something here. So, but I think Louisville wins this game. So I'm taking Louisville. Josh.
All right, Clemson's played one team with a winning record, and they got beat by 30. Clemson, they got to show me something, and I think they do on Saturday night. I'm going to take Clemson and the 11.5 points. Giving up 11.5 points, I think playing at night there is going to be a little too much for Louisville. I think Clemson is ready to prove something, and I think they're going to do it Saturday night.
11.5, man.
We're riding.
I don't.
We're
see
riding.
It. Yeah, I don't see it. I mean, you would be riding if they were playing Harlem High School. I mean, you
shout the real Bulldogs.
Yeah. No, I just don't see it. Anyway. Yeah. Everybody picked. So Preston, obviously, he went with Clemson. So we got 2v3. Me and Bryson, only ones going with Louisville there. You guys going with Clemson. Let's go to the next game. We got 7:30 p.m. Number 10, Texas A&M coming off a big win against LSU at South Carolina.
Woo.
The Gamecocks.
Yes, sir.
A&M favored by 2.5. Josh, go ahead.
All right. Here we go. I'm gonna go with South Carolina here, man. They had a week off. They got some of their guys rested up. They have 2 defensive ends that are be playing on Sundays next year, and their defensive front is better than LSU's defensive front. Just gonna say that outright, and I think they're gonna wreak havoc on that new quarterback. I think he may get in a little bit over his head. I think Elko might have to go back to Weigman in this game. I think South Carolina, that defense, and South Carolina coming off a big win 2 weeks ago against Oklahoma. Pretty good dominating win against Oklahoma, 34-9 or something like that. So I'm going to go with South Carolina here. Plus, I need Texas A&M to lose, so going with South Carolina to win.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Josh here. Surprisingly, it's at South Carolina. I I didn't really understand the line. I mean, A&M favored by only 2.5. I thought they'd be favored by a little bit more. I guess South Carolina's been playing better, but I'm going to ride with the Gamecocks here. Give me South Carolina. Bryson.
Yeah, I'm going with Gamecocks here. I mean, like Josh said, there's two defensive linemen, and this defense is legit. I mean, facing Oklahoma, granted, Chris, I don't know how many times you said Oklahoma's trash. Everybody can beat Oklahoma, but getting 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery, that's tough. Great defense over there. They're probably top 10 in the nation, probably in defense, maybe. Offense, gotta get going offense early. Lenore's put the contacts in. Got need to find that run game with Rocket Sanders. But yeah, I'm taking Carolina. I got Carolina outright.
Forrest, if you mean to make it short and sweet, I understand you're busy back there, but who you got in this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take A&M with this one.
A&M.
Yeah, I think they're riding high right now. They just beat LSU. That's a pretty big game, and I mean they're on the top right now in the SEC. So
Rat
they're
poison.
Very important game for them. Very
Rat
important game. They shouldn't.
right.
I agree with Forrest. They can't really. You don't want to drop this game. They got.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd still be okay if they dropped this game, but I think what other games they lost? They lost Notre Dame. Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not the end of the world if they lose this game, but it can be. I mean, definitely can be against the Carolina team. But very important game for them there. But they showed it last week in another.
Hey, here's something interesting. Say Texas A&M does beat South Carolina and goes into the Texas game, with that one loss against Notre Dame, but no losses in the conference play, loses to Texas. LSU wins out. It'll be LSU and Texas A&M in the SEC championship. Even if Texas A&M loses to Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild to think about. Georgia and Texas not being ranked higher than those two teams and not playing in the conference championship. But I'm telling you now, I don't think playing in the conference championship bodes you well at all. Especially,
not really.
Especially if you make it in as a 2-loss team. Because if you make it in as a 2-loss team and you lose that game, that's going to knock you right out of the playoffs. Yeah. Even a 1-loss team can potentially knock you out of the playoffs because they're going to be looking at the strength of schedule. And I'm sorry to tell you, Texas fans, your strength of schedule is not very good.
I agree. I said before they hadn't played nobody.
They played their first true SEC road game the last Saturday of October, and it was at Vanderbilt. So tell me how the hell they managed to finagle that kind of schedule coming into the SEC. The first true SEC road game at Vanderbilt the last Saturday of October.
Let's not forget about November 9th now.
I don't know how that happens.
November 9th, the Gators going to Texas.
Yeah, going to Texas. Where does Texas play on the road?
I'm just saying, watch out for an upset.
They got to go to Texas A&M. Well, you just better hope that Texas-Florida game's a damn 11 o'clock Central kickoff time.
Yeah. All right, anyway.
Otherwise, they might throw trash on the field down there.
Preston went with A&M, so we got Forrest and Preston going with A&M. The rest of us going with
Carolina,
South Carolina. Let's go into a final game here. Interesting game here. We got 8 p.m. Number 18 undefeated, I believe, still Pittsburgh. Are they still undefeated? Right, I believe so. At SMU. SMU minus 7.5 after the
7-0.
Early quarterback change early in the year. They got Jennings, the other quarterback, been playing well for him.
For SMU,
I'm not Preston Stone.
Yeah, he's not. He's not playing for him no more. Yeah, they got Jennings, right? Anyway, SMU favored by 7.5. I'll lead us off here. I'm gonna go. I know Pittsburgh, they're undefeated, I guess, whatnot. They've been I think they kind of come back to life here. I think SMU handles them. SMU's been playing better lately. I'm going to take them minus 7.5. It's a big line, but I think it's a big line for a reason. So I'm going to take SMU here. Forrest, who you got?
Yeah, I know. Pitt's been doing good, but I'm gonna agree with you. Is it at SMU?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe it's at
Yeah.
SMU. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm gonna take SMU then.
SMU. Bryson.
Yeah, I'm going with the Mustangs as well. In the beginning of the season, they look that Nevada game. I don't know if y'all watched that game, but man, they had some quarterback trouble. Then they starting to straighten it up. Only losing to BYU by 3 points and getting a big win over Louisville. I think SMU is could be a little dark horse here, but I like SMU.
Josh.
All right. I'm a little partial towards Pitt because their quarterback was
Alabama.
sitting on the bench at Alabama, and
Bet my dollar.
I always thought he was a pretty good quarterback, man. He's really showing out there at Pitt. Eli Holstein.
Yep.
I think Pitt keeps it closer than 7.5 if they don't win. I like Pitt here, plus 7.5.
They win this game. I mean, say they win if they win this game, they could be, hey, they're in it. They're in it to win it. Pitt. Never know.
What are they in the ACC?
Yeah. I mean, they're undefeated still. Were they undefeated still, right? I'm pretty sure they were. I'm pretty sure they're.
Why are they ranked so low?
If I'm not mistaken, they're undefeated.
Only loss is BYU.
Oh, they lost to BYU. Excuse me. So they did lose. I thought they were undefeated still.
They lost to BYU.
By only by 3, though.
I'm so sick of BYU.
The Cougars.
Hey, BYU. Not BYU. Anyway, yeah. 7.5. Locks of the week.
Hold on a second, dude. I was just looking at the TV fucking 3 minutes ago. It was 5-0. Now it's 5-5.
Hey, go Dodgers, baby. Go Dodgers.
I just seen Freddie Freeman run across home plate.
Rip that ball out.
He was freaking going crazy, and I'm wondering, like, why are you going crazy? What did y'all score 2 runs? And I look up, it's 5-5. That's why he was going crazy. They just tied it up.
I might have to turn that on.
It might be a celebration in New York with the Dodgers. I hope they win.
I love it. I hope they win in New York. Anyway, locks of the week, Forrest. I know you're probably not going to have one unless you have one off the top of your head, but it's good. Good. Do you have a lock of the week for us?
I don't have one.
Anything? Yeah. No worries. No worries. No worries. We got 4 of them.
He's got the lock of the week.
Appreciate you joining for us. We're gonna go ahead and let you go. We're gonna do the locks of the week here.
It was nice meeting you, man.
Right. Yeah, you
nice
too,
you.
man.
We'll have you back on.
Shout out, Coach.
Have a good one. Peace out. Go Dogs.
Peace out, guys. Yeah, that's right. Go Dogs. I appreciate y'all.
All right. Anyway, I think you got to remove yourself. I don't know.
All right. So we are going to go with locks. Our locks.
Yeah, our lock.
We didn't have any.
No chat. We don't have many chats tonight.
No luck from the chat. I mean, I guess
we gotta go R4. I like
the chat right last week.
I like one already. Preston went with Oregon minus 14.5 over Michigan. Michigan hadn't been playing well.
Yeah, I like that too. The only thing that deters me a little bit from that is, Oregon's number 1, big target on their back, defending champs, trying to play for something. They might keep it closer than what Oregon wants, but is Oregon on a mission? Are they mature enough? That number 1, being number 1 ain't always fun, man.
But Michigan, how long before Michigan plays Ohio State? That could be looking towards that.
Oh, that's the last game of the season.
Last game of the season. Excuse me. Okay. Anyway, locks of the week. Josh, do you have one?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go here with Arizona at UCF. Central Florida's not been playing very well. They like to run the ball as well. So they like, take a lot of time off the clock. Arizona's not been playing well either. And that's under 55.5 is what I'm going to go with. Arizona, UCF under 55.5.
Arizona, UCF under 55.5. All right, I'm going to check all these. Just saying, I was trying to help Bryson out. See, Bryson, look at the make sure you want to keep going. I don't see where he's hurt.
And it's shout out to Barstool Sports Advisors. We're on the same page. We're doing our show Wednesdays, and they do their shows Wednesday, but they air it Friday. A lot could change for that.
Bryson, you can't. I don't see him on
I'm
the
not
injury
seeing
report.
any news on it. I'm not.
Just go with it, Bryce. Go with your gut.
On who?
Johnson's not that bad.
Hold on. Who's on the injury report?
Beat Pavia. I was talking about Pavia for Vanderbilt.
Oh yeah, he's not on. I don't think he's gonna be on the injury.
Yeah, I know he was hurt, but anyway. So Bryson, you're going Vandy.
I'm going Vanderbilt -7.
Vanderbilt.
I think Auburn had a good game last weekend, but I just not looking good. I like Vanderbilt in this, no problem.
All right, and Preston went with Oregon. I'm gonna go, and you guys are gonna hate my pick. I looked. I like
Vandy
it.
7.
Huh?
It's Vandy +7.
Yeah,
Yeah,
plus
sorry,
7.
plus-
Excuse me,
yeah.
+7. I'm gonna go with Louisville +11.5 against Clemson. I like Louisville, so I'm going Louisville there. Like that. So let me go ahead and put these picks in, and we'll be ready. So we got Louisville +11.5, Vanderbilt +7.5. Josh, you went the under in
Arizona, Central Florida.
Arizona and Central Florida, and Preston is -14.5.
Josh, can I get your opinion if
Hey, hold on. Is that under 55.5?
I'm going to double check here. So Oregon is -15. So Preston's not here. We got to take the -15. So we are going that.
Let me scratch out the 14.5 and do the 15.
Yeah. So Josh, you actually get a better line here.
What is it?
It is Clay Miami. Oh, I thought you said Miami -+20. I was like, huh. Anyway, Josh, you get under 56 in Arizona UCF. So that's what I got here. Bryson, we get to go Louisville. Louisville's +10.5. I think it's because it's +11 on thing. So Louisville. Sorry if I'm telling you wrong lines. +10.5.
10.5 on Louisville.
Yeah. On the other side, it's different. So
Okay.
I just write down what I have at the beginning.
But our picks is still 11.5, right?
Yeah, you can keep the picks, but for the bet, it's going to be 10.5. So for what money we're putting in is 10.5. Then Bryson, you took what time's the Vandy game?
12:45.
12:45. And he plays at 12:45. Why am I not seeing the game? 12:45.
Josh, if Pavi was hurt, I was going to get your opinion on this.
Vandy +7.
I was thinking, I like Carolina's defense is legit. Under 45.5 in that A&M game.
Ooh.
That's kind of low. I know, but I think
because think about it, man. 28-24. That'd be bust. 24-21 would be bust.
Yeah. All right, so that's our locks for the week. I think that's it. Sorry about the podcast going down earlier, but we need to go ahead and get up out here. Thanks for Forrest joining Georgia Florida Week.
Georgia Florida Week. Happy National Georgia Hate Week.
We will be going
buddies.
next week. We will be here Wednesday. We will be going to Cherokee next weekend. Watch Florida, Texas. Bet on some games. Watch the game. Make sure you like, subscribe on YouTube. Rewatch it. Make sure you follow and download the podcast on Spotify.
Thank you, Coach.
And Apple Podcasts. And appreciate you watching. Peace.
Shout out to Coach.
Wolfpack is back, cause I'm mass destruction. Guess who's here? The bad boys of wrestling. Testing competition, win the war, that's their mission. Not no mercy, see the race like the street. If you don't know, you better find out the Wolfpack. Here to prove a point, number one, best believe that you don't want to tussle with them. I'll be here for them, come in the ring with them, you're never walking out